What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the rabbit hole. I come in real quick here to tell y'all what's really going on. We got a pandemic. There's been massive lockdowns, massive unemployment. We've had protests, riots, revolts. What's really going on right now? I know what you're thinking. All these things have already existed before. We've had diseases before. We've had a lot of population down before. We've had mass unemployment before. We've had social injustice, racial injustice before. We've had protests before. We've had even some riots in certain places before, and even a little bit of revolts before. People have taken over certain sections before. But why is it all happening now? I'm here to let you know what's happening, what's really going on right quick. All right. So back last fall, global economy collapsed. Nobody really noticed because people don't pay that too much attention to it. But the banks, they have this thing called the repo market. It's like the banker's pawn shop. So the bankers got to start pawning all this debt they have off to pay all the other bills and the debt that they have. So they go to other bankers and they get more debt by pawning off your debt and my debt to these other bankers, and they give them more money for that debt to pay off the debt to other banks they owe the money to. And all that whole thing just collapsed. It ran out of money last fall. So what happened? The Fed jumped in. And they gave them a bunch of money. But it didn't work. A few weeks later, it all crashed again. So the Fed's like, look, here's more money. Just keep it going because we don't want to tell everybody the banks collapsed again because they're going to be like, how did that happen? That already happened in 2008. That wasn't supposed to happen again. We don't want to complain all that. All right. So get it going. All right. So at any rate, didn't work again. So the Fed's like, all right, look, man, we're going to give you more money and we're going to crank you out money on a regular basis. Just keep the system from collapsing. Didn't work too well. So then this thing comes up and we got this big pandemic and it's an outbreak. And so people got to do stuff. And so what do we do? And who's the person that did it? The person that started was Donald Trump. He just said, we're locking everything down. We're locking down China. And we're locking down travel from Europe. And it's like, what in the world happened? We're shutting down travel from the United States and Europe? Never happened before, right? All right, that's pulled off. Global upheaval. It's all kinds of problems going on. And people are trying to figure out, well, what's going on? The economy's going to shut down. All this stuff's shut down. Well, guess what? The economy already shut down. It already messed up because they didn't print enough money. They couldn't keep up with all the debt that they had. So they had to slam on the brakes. All right, so they slam on the brakes, and then the Fed prints up a bunch more money, and they tell everybody it's a virus, so that's cool. All right, so I mean, not saying that there aren't diseases. There's always diseases, and there's always outbreaks. We've just never gone this far before. So why did we go this far? This is why. All right, because everything else is shut down. When the banks aren't going to be able to crank out the money, people aren't going to get paid, so security checks aren't coming out. That means they aren't going to be able to pay rent. Those people aren't going to be able to pay mortgages. Blah 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 blah. It's 2008 all over again. Everything fell apart, and it was about to fall apart again. They didn't want to have that to happen. So now they're cranking out mad money. And the Fed came out and just recently they said they're cranking out money for another 2 years. All right, and you got to wonder, why is this going on? Why is this going on? Well, the money system that you use, you don't really have real money. It's just a bunch of debt. And you just print a bunch of money, and then you don't have to print anymore. You just type into a computer. So they didn't type the money into computers fast enough, and they have a bunch of rules to other people that use money. They can only make so much more fake money out of the fake money they already had. So out of the 9/10 fractional reserve banking system, some of y'all know about that. But at any rate, without getting off into that tangent, that system messed up. So they came out with this CARES Act. Boom, we're going to step in, and somewhere in the midst of that, they're giving people a bunch of money because they want to get that money out there. Like I said, they ran out of money. There's not money in the system, and everybody's going to figure out, go crazy, and you'll have a bunch of worse than riots. All right. At any rate, that was their move. And in the midst of that CARES Act thing, the President of the United States kind of just took over the Fed. Now, it was real slick. It was real smooth. Other stuff must have happened for this to be able to happen. At any rate, the President kind of controls the money supply in the United States right now, to a certain extent. And the Congress can print the money, but the President can create money through the Fed so they can buy assets from banks, and banks can sell certain assets and get those assets and sell them to the Fed and get other assets. So, I mean, they create a bunch of money. So they can keep doing this over and over again and bang, bang, bang. So that means the president, right now, at this point, he's the most powerful man in the history of the planet. Why? Because he has an unlimited bank account and he has a military with a AUMF, which is the authorized use military force, which essentially says that as long as he says someone is a terrorist, we can go to war against him. All right, at any rate, that's where we are on that. So they're trying to clean up this whole money mess. And at the same time, we got other people that are trying to clean up the money mess because it's a whole global system, because the United States is the world's reserve currency. So if it hurts us, hurts them, everybody's got to deal with this problem. You got globalists, you got China, you got Russia, you know, that's what it is. It's globalist versus national. I mean, that's what it is. There's globalists and people that want global government. You know, they like the WHO. You know, they like the WTO. They like the UN. They like these global governments tell everybody what to do. You know, global courts. And then the other countries like, nah, I want to do what I want to do. I want to do what I do. That's why Russia. That's why nobody likes Putin. He's like, I don't want to play y'all's game. I just want to do what I want to do. And you know, Trump's the same way. He's like, I don't want to play y'all's game. America, we're pulling out y'all stuff too. We're just gonna do what we're gonna do. And China, they don't want to play along. They're like, yo, we'll play along, but yo, we're gonna kind of do our own thing. As anybody knows, China just kind of does their own thing. So this whole system is messed up. And so right now they're trying to crank out enough money and keep people happy. And guess what? It ain't coming out fast enough. I hate to say it ain't coming out fast enough. I'm not for printing money because in the long run you get hyperinflation if you print too much money. But in the right thing to do is they need to print enough money to be able to continue to facilitate enough trade. I mean, just like George Washington did back when they won the war against the Revolution, and Lincoln was able to do the same thing, you know, print money back with the greenbacks, and you print enough money to be able to facilitate enough trade to do what you need to do. But the money is really not real. That's why people like gold. Gold, you can't really create it. So, you know, it's going to be there and people will exchange goods and services and the price of gold will be gold and the prices will fluctuate. But people that like fake money, fiat currency, they don't like the prices fluctuating all over the place. So they want to control the amount of money in the system themselves and try to keep everybody happy with the amount of money in the system. And it ain't working right now. Fell apart in 08. We didn't fix it. We just bailed everybody out, give the money back. Fell apart again. Now we just bail everybody out again, trying to fix it. Maybe we'll fix some things. We definitely changed the way it's going. We ain't in the same path we were no more. So everybody, get ready. Get ready. Fasten your seatbelts and grab a bucket of popcorn because we're going to figure out what happens when we all just make our own money. And I guess it's a race to the bottom who can keep from printing themselves into hyperinflation. So, marks, ready, set, go.